Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys. So we're sitting right underneath all-time highs. We have Tesla earnings tomorrow after the bell. We have Netflix earnings going on right now. All right, and so far the stock is taking quite a dive. All right, but yeah, we got big tech earnings coming in hot next week. Probably going to be coming out of this government shutdown. Probably this week. And we're right next to all-time highs. If we pull back, it's going to be a short video. I'm just going to say if we pull back, expect it to be bought for the time being. VIX it's crushing. All right. It's down quite a bit from the highs over here. We lost 21 EMA over the last two sessions. For all I know, if you lose this area right here, you see the weekly 9, the weekly 21 right there. If you lose this area, you're probably just going to continue selling over here on VIX. And I assume SPY and QQ, they're going to be breaking up into new all-time highs. That's about it, guys. We're likely either going to see some action like that, or we're just going to continue trekking higher. SPY, QQQ, DIA, they all look like they want to go higher. IWM, I'm not going to say it's the prettiest, but it's also not looking all that bad. But yeah, SPY, QQ, DIA, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, S&P 500, they look like they want to continue pushing. It's really all there is to it, guys. All there is to it. All right. As far as levels go on SPY, guys, we're just watching all-time highs. 673.95 above there, 675, 680. Downside 670.23, 665.76 is the gap you got left open from yesterday's gap up. And yeah, underneath there, we're watching the 21 EMA. Beyond, guys, BYND squeezing. All right, that's really the only thing, that's the exciting thing in the market right now. And I'm going to point it out in this video. It's likely going a lot higher. All right, got involved today, and I think it's going a lot higher. Coming over here to QQ, guys, on the upside, we're watching all-time highs, 613.18. Above there, we're talking 615, 620. Downside, 608.31, and then 605.51 is the gap that was left open from yesterday's gap up. All right, underneath there, you got the moving averages. You're watching 21 EMA around 601, and that's about it. But yeah, same thing as SPY, guys. We're either going to pull back in, consolidate a bit around the moving average, let them catch up the price before pushing into new all-time highs, or we're just going to push into new all-time highs. It's one or the other. But yeah, it's looking like you're very, very likely just going to push up in the short term. So yeah, position yourself accordingly and stack the odds in your favor, and that's that. All right, DIA, it's got that same look. All right, we did make it to new all-time highs today. We're pulling back a bit. Expect buyers on the pullback. About it. All right, Mag 7 stocks, expecting the same thing. We're so close to these highs that we're very likely going to test them in the short term. If you pull back, expect buyers. That's about it. Amazon, even during the AWS outage there, okay, all the problems it's been causing around the globe there, all right, to the internet. It is still rising through the flames over here. Honestly, this thing probably has a bottom in at this point in time. If you close out above the 21 EMA here on the week, then yeah, I would say you very likely have a bottom in. I'm still going to remind everyone, big tech earnings coming in hot next week. So, that's a little monkey wrench into the mix. So trade around that. All right, trade accordingly. You don't have to trade these things through earnings. Netflix can show you right here. All right, you genuinely should not be trading things through earnings. Okay. But if you'd like, you can. All right. I'm just pointing out there's not an edge in that. There's not. All right. It's you hoping that earnings are going to be positive. That's it. Or hoping that they're negative. One or the other. But it's hope. There's no edge in it. It's random every time. So that's about it for all of the big tech right now. I think NVDA still might be coming down a little bit lower, tagging 176. That's where your 0.618 fib is. Meta, I'm still liking this over others, but you're going to need to see the cloud, daily cloud flip green over here with the pop above the 741. Get above 741, it's probably going to start pushing. But again, earnings. Microsoft, not looking bad. All right, still watching 521.6 above there, 531. Tesla, earnings going to be tomorrow after the close. Google, you had a hefty pullback today over here, and then you found buyers down here, decent big guys. All right, almost a 10-point bounce there off the lows. That's pretty quick, pretty crazy. All right. It's still likely going to be revisiting this high over here and having that next breakout move. I am not sure if it's going to happen before earnings. I'm really not. That's the thing. That's that monkey wrench I was talking about. All right. Apple also has earnings next week. I am thinking this is going to be moving higher in the short term. I am just not sure if you are going to have more impulsive moves or if you're just going to be doing, we talked about in yesterday's video, you either are going to, have a few days of an impulsive move, impulsive push there, or you grind higher. That's just how Apple moves. I'm not sure which one this is going to be, but now that we got this, I'm thinking it's safe to say, yeah, you're just going to be grinding higher. So just if you are trading this name, all right, just realize that's probably going to be the case. I'm not sure if you're going to have multiple weeks here of upside, but I'm pretty positive as long as you don't shit the bed over here on earnings, I'm pretty sure you're just going to keep trekking higher. Or, yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine them just building you all the way back up here to all-time highs just to slam you back down. At that point, you're going to come down here. You're probably going to find buyers again around here. And then, yeah, we'll have to see the reaction. All right, we'll see what gets built out. But it's just going to be more consolidation, or we are just going to go higher in the short term. Either way, this is very likely going to be seeing higher prices. All right. Now, as far as, things that are moving right now in the market, I'm just going to highlight BYND over here. We all saw Open run to a almost $10 billion market cap. I think it was a $7 to $8 billion market cap. BYND, I'm just going to point out they have speculative capital, enough to pump these things. Okay. We have billions of dollars that goes around, ticker to ticker. All right. Not all at once, but I'm just pointing out there is a lot of spec capital. That's why, when everything's really selling there, all right, it doesn't really matter what the stock is. Okay. If it's a higher beta name, like we're seeing right now, like everything's just, spec capital is leaving and it's concentrating elsewhere. I think it's pushing back into the Mag 7 stocks. But I'm just going to point out over here, this is still this is a $300 million market cap over here. It can still move. And, I just took an objective look at this today. And yeah, it doesn't really matter what time frame you're looking at. They all look pretty crazy right now. And you're having billions of shares traded. And when I acknowledge that, Henry, you just traded Open. All right. And Open, I don't care about the fundamentals of the company. I don't care. All right. If they want to squeeze the thing, I'll go along for the ride. All right. Charts are going to set up and do what charts want to do. And from the monthly to the weekly to the daily, I just agreed that, all of them suggest you're probably going to get up to 482 in the short term here, $4.82. You're probably going to break it. At that point, I think FOMO it's really just going to enter this thing. I imagine you get somewhere over here, $7 to $8 pretty quick. Yeah, I'm going to say $8 to $10, I think, is incoming here in the short term. I'm not saying it happens this week, but yeah, this is the week it started going. And yeah, I've seen some of these things just take off early on. And I think this might be one of them. I'm not telling you it's going to like, $20. I'm not even saying it's not guaranteed going to $8 to $10, but just look at the charts. It looks like it wants to keep going. You definitely have an absolutely insane amount of volume coming into this thing. 1.9 billion shares trade today. On the week already, 3 billion shares. I'm just saying, this is where the spec capital right now is flooding into. It's very apparent with the volume. All right. Aside from that, we got PATH, P-A-T-H. All right. I like what's going on over here. Finding buyers in between the 9 and the 21, where you broke out from. I have to assume this thing is going to continue at heavy volume on the breakout. And now you have low volume on your consolidation. I'm assuming this is going to start pushing back up. So keep it on your radar. That's PATH, P-A-T-H. SOFI. All right. SOFI, weekly, daily, guys. They're looking good. 4 hour. Looking like this thing wants to push up. Above 29.09, we're talking 30.30. Above there, I think a 32 plus is incoming. But yeah, a lot of things just have earnings next week. So keep that in mind if trading options, guys. Keep that in mind. Oscar, OSCR. Pushing back up with a vengeance today. All right. Weekly, it says that this thing has a chance to explode right here. All right. We'll see if it happens. It's just a chance. But you've already... you guys can see what I'm seeing. We've tested this area now 1, 2, 3 times. We're now pushing it up for a 4th time to $22. Yeah, I think you might break through it. Okay, 22. You have 2209, 2278, 2379, and then you're in price discovery mode. You rejected right there. So that's on the smaller time frame, the daily in this case. Okay, how you tested this 22 spot 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, like technically 3 times since establishing the spot. On the higher time frame, the weekly, you see 1, 2, 3 times. You're now going to be testing a 4th time if you get up here to 2379. I have to assume you're going to break through. All right, you're probably going to push. Okay, so that is Oscar, OSCR, likely going to. I'm thinking that, I'm going to say odds favor. This thing is probably going to break 2379 here in the short term. So keep it on your radar. Either way, just set your alert. If it doesn't break, it doesn't break. But if it does, guess what? This thing might be heading up to $30. And you can catch a trending move before it starts up. Okay, I like to put things on your radar before they happen. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed. XYZ, weekly chart. Okay, just another name with earnings right around the corner. Beginning of November over here, November 6th. Weekly is really shaping up. You're getting really tight against the moving average over here. 21 EMA. There's 3 tests recently, okay? Out of the last 5 weeks here, you have 3 of those testing the 21 EMA. This thing's probably going to be pushing up, all right? And above 79, we could push up to 82.5. Above there, that's when this party gets started. And I think you're just going to start heading back up to the highs. Now, that being said, you do have earnings, okay? So that, again, just like any other ticker out there, it throws a monkey wrench into the equation. Keep that in mind. But it's XYZ. PLTR, guys, if the market is going to push up to all-time highs, okay, which I'm just going to say, you are so close to all-time highs, it's probably coming in the short term. I imagine Palantir is finally going to cooperate over here and push up to all-time highs with it. You have a 4-week inside week little range going on here. I doubt they're going to have a 5th. It's possible. I doubt it though. The last week, out of this 4-week range, has tested the 9 EMA again on weekly time frame, higher time frame. Daily looks like a hot mess. Okay, the thing it's not tradable here on the daily. It's not telling you anything. On the weekly, I'm telling you, this looks like it's about to have 1 to 2 weeks of upside. Looks like it is about to start hitting it with the green sticks. Pay attention. Palantir. Rocket Lab. I would personally like this thing to go a little like this. All right, I want to sweep $62, test the 21 EMA. You get a nice entry point off there, and boom, low risk entry point. All right, and see if we can catch a quick 10 to 15% move back up to $70. All right, $68.70 above there, 73.5, and then maybe we catch that next leg up. That's Rocket Lab. All right, but ASTS, I don't like the look of ASTS, so I just want to note that it probably is, knowing what's going on over here, and knowing that Rocket Lab is probably going to be pushing back up. All right, I think that has clear as day. It has another leg in it. It's pretty much doing exactly like we talked about ahead of time, just like over here, how you're going to have multiple opportunities. So you could take profits into here. If you're longing down here with me, I know it was a bumpy freaking ride. Okay, long and over here. We had 2 failed moves, technically 3 with over here, but then 2 over here. All right, at 53.44, and then you went. I know, but if you're longing down here, you got a nice gain going over there. You could have taken profits, and now this is where you want to be entering, re-entering. It's up to you if you want to take on the risk, but I'm telling you, this is exactly what we talked about ahead of time. It's actually better than what we talked about ahead of kind. Okay, over here, you just kind of were drifting higher. Right here, guys, this is clean. You're building out a range, okay? I want to see you sweep this low, test 21, failed breakdown of the range, push the top of the range, and then you have next leg. That's Rocket Lab. Walmart, I'm looking for buyers on this dip over here into 105.30. Not going to call it the prettiest. I'm going to definitely say it's traded like crap for a while now, but this is, 7 months, I believe 7 months of consolidation there. We're likely about to, see this thing push decently higher here. I imagine we're not going to get a failed move again. We already got a failed move over here, got a failed move over here. I doubt that's going to be the case over here. But either way, buyers are going to step in. 105.30, that's the level to watch. Okay, on the upside, 108.25, 109.58, 112, 115. Netflix, guys, I'm just going to say, it went the opposite way over, off earnings there. Just to keep your alert on 12.67. That's the level you're watching for a break above. Until that happens, I'd say it's not even worth touching it. That's Netflix. Okay, UNH. Not exactly liking that you know faded so much off of the high today. You had a high of 371 there. Your current price is 365. What I do like is that you have this tight consolidation going on above moving average over here on the weekly time frame. After flipping the cloud green, you pull back, test the 21 EMA after failing to test it over here. Now you're pushing back up. Honestly, guys, it's pretty obvious this guy does want to be pushing up. Just set your alert for 376.22. If you want to, trade shorter term contracts, I'm just going to let you know. All right. Earnings, they're next week, November 21st contracts. All right. Calls, they move 100% on a 20-point move. Catch the move from here up to $400. You're at 200% of your contracts with or without earnings. I think this might have a big 15. We're going to say 15 to 20 point day right around the corner. One of these guys. I think it's going to do before earnings. Okay. But no guarantees. That's UNH. All right. And that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, just remember to leave a like. I greatly appreciate it. It's what keeps this channel going. All right. Let's keep getting, new subscribers over here. I'm definitely going to say growth here on our channel. It's definitely slow. I feel like we have some pretty quality content. So please, I know there's, most of our viewers every day, they're returning viewers. So if we have 2 to 3K returning viewers every day, I think we could pull out, more than the likes that we get, 300, 400 likes. Please just remember, if you enjoy these videos, please remember to leave a like. Okay. Other than that, guys, if you want to come trade with me, that link is down below. I'm live every day. And yeah, I'll help you maneuver this market at all times. There you go. All right, guys. With that being said, BYND probably going to be breaking 482 tomorrow and starting, a further squeeze move. I know it's already going a little crazy. It was at $1 yesterday off the open. Okay, now it's over $4. I understand. Probably going to continue. All right, but yeah, I hope everybody has a lovely rest of their day, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.